Davis Harper says, why is the sun hot, not cold? Because it's on fire. Hey there guys, Portalmaster 9351 here, and welcome back to another episode of Ask Portalmaster. It has been so long since I've done one of these. It has been since the very beginning of August, and a lot has happened since then. So I'm super duper excited to finally be back with Ask Portalmaster. So, as always, I'm going to be answering your questions and giving a little bit of a channel update, which there is a little bit of stuff to talk about in regards to that. So, not going to bore you with any more of an intro, so let's get started. So I recognize that a lot of these questions are over a month old, and so I'm going to answer them, as I would today, although I totally understand if, the question is outdated or anything like that, no hard feelings. That's 100% my fault for not doing one in mid-August. Just as a refresher, I thought I was going to do a live stream in mid-August, but I had to push that back, so I didn't plan to do an Ask Portalmaster, so I didn't make time to edit a video in the middle of August. So I had to push it back to the very beginning of September. Well, that's when I did my live stream, the beginning of September. So now here we are, middle of September, and here I am with questions from you. So today's first question on the revival of Ask Portalmaster comes from Chopasaurus, and he says, I have a question. Should I start playing Skylanders again? And I have another question. Why does everyone think that Superchargers was so bad? I personally enjoyed it. To answer your first question, yes, you should definitely start playing Skylanders again. In my opinion, it is still a great game that is definitely worth playing if you're into RPG type, games like Skylanders. The second question that you asked, of course, is about why everyone didn't like Superchargers, and the reason I think that people didn't like Superchargers was because of all of the vehicle-based elements of Skylanders, The game is normally about combat, and I think Superchargers made it way too much about racing and vehicular combat. And I just don't think that's what people wanted. So that is why most people dislike Superchargers. The second question, or rather comment, comes from Deep Chocolate. And he says, you should get Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. If I had a PS4, I definitely would. Duracell1692 asks, do you think Chaos's mom will make a comeback? I do think she will make a comeback. I assume you're talking about Academy, and if that is what you're talking about, she will definitely be coming back in Academy. And, even when you asked that, we didn't actually have it confirmed that she was coming back. Now it is confirmed that she's coming back in Academy. So yes, she's coming back, but even a month and a half ago, I still would have said, yes, she's coming back. She's such an important character in the story, I think that she just automatically has to come back. SquigglyFan91 says, after finding out that Toys for Bob's unannounced project is multi-platform, which ruled out it being a Spyro trilogy, do you think it's more likely that it is Skylanders? I don't think that their secret project being a multi-platform game necessarily even rules out it being a Spyro game. Yes, it's incredibly likely that a Spyro remaster would be only on the PlayStation 4, but I can't honestly say that it straight up rules it out being Spyro altogether. That being said, I do think that it is something completely unrelated to Spyro or Skylanders. I've thought that for a while now. I just straight up think it's something completely and utterly different. I think they're still working on Skylanders potentially, but I definitely think that it is something different that we have not heard of at all. Wheelchair Guy Gaming TV asks, I have two questions, so if you want to answer one in this episode and one in the other, that's fine. I will answer both in this episode because I have waited so long to do episodes and I just want to get both of these out of the way. If the Tradmasters did end up having interchangeable weapons, how do you think it would impact feedback around the game? Well, when I finally release my video on why Trap Team killed the franchise, which should be coming up very soon, I am editing it this weekend. If it hadn't been for technical difficulties, it would have come out very soon. The thing is that the reason that them not having interchangeable weapons was such a big issue is because they had to spend so much time redeveloping the gimmick for Trap Team that it took away precious development time. So I think if they had had a more solidified idea of what the Trap Masters were going to do early on, it would have given more development time for the game. That being said, I do not think it would have been smart to have done interchangeable weapons in Trap Team because it was right after Swap Force that had interchangeable body parts, and I think it would have just been seen as redundant overall. His second question says, a lot of people think that the reason why Battle Mode had to leave was due to the nerfing characters. To fix this, I had an idea about fight restrictions. Basically, what these would be are options that affect gameplay, like no Sky Chi being usable, or every character having equal stats. Do you think these would help? Honestly, no they wouldn't, because the real problem with the PvP thing is that some Skylanders, the effects around their attacks are just so broken. Like, knockback sometimes can be a huge issue, or like just, you know, there are so many things that just about Battle Mode that were messed up in terms of character balancing that just, you know, putting a straight up, okay, all characters are now equal, would not have fixed the problem at all, in my opinion. I mean, I'm no professional game designer, but I don't really think it would have helped. But I will say that what would have helped is not trying to make every character, every generation of characters so incredibly different. Like with every game, the characters, the way they dealt damage and crap like that was completely redesigned. The scale of damage, like enemies would have more health and characters would do more damage. If they had just kind of kept with the same scale the entire time, they wouldn't have had as big of a problem. And if they had like tested things as they went, they wouldn't have had as big of a problem either. They just let it get out of control. Scott Harper says, since you love Marvel and hate DC, who's your favorite Marvel superhero and villain? Golly, what is with you people asking me, who's your favorite character? I hate questions like that, but I also love questions like that. Ugh. I would definitely say that my favorite hero, at least in terms of powers, is probably Doctor Strange. I really like his ability set and the way he's portrayed. I really enjoyed his solo movie. So for now, it's Doctor Strange, but that could change at any given point because I'm very wishy-washy. My favorite villain, though, has got to be Loki. I love Loki. I love the guy who plays Loki. Loki is just such a great character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe films, so definitely Loki for my favorite villain. Shadow Dragon asked, did you see the Emoji Movie? I'm not going to read the rest of the question because the answer to that is no, and I hope I never have to ever see it. ThunderDragon17 asks, my question for you this time is, who is your favorite hero/villain, Sensei Skylander by battle class, and thanks for the shout out. That would take a long time to go through. It would take forever to go through all of the battle classes and stuff, so let me just tell you who my favorite Sensei is. No doubt, Airstrike. Airstrike is my favorite character to play with from Imaginators, hands down, so definitely Airstrike. But maybe at a later date, I'll go through about that. Like, that's a separate video. That could be its own video. So I'll just tell you, favorite Sensei overall, Airstrike. Errand Tube HD says, who is your favorite Giants character? My favorite Giants character is probably the character that gets no recognition at all, basically, Fright Rider. I really like some of the Giants, like Eyebrow is such a cool design, I love Ninjini, but overall, I've got to say it's Fright Rider, and one of the reasons I love Fright Rider so much is because he is so underrated. But in my opinion, Fright Rider is one of the coolest Giants characters, and it's honestly a shame that they didn't make more figures out of him. Eyebrawl27 says, what is your favorite Skylanders memory? Wow, there is a lot to choose from in terms of Skylanders memories, but I would say that one of my favorite memories for Skylanders as a whole, there's a couple. One of them, I would say, is the midnight releases. I've been to 3 Skylanders midnight releases, one at Walmart, and that was an absolute disaster. But the other 2 I went to at Toys R Us, it was so amazing to be there at the midnight launch of the new game. That is one of the best experiences I've had for Skylanders. But I would also say that one of my favorite experiences with Skylanders was when Trap Team was being revealed and we had leaks galore. We had leaks everywhere. News was just flying at us. There were so many teasers, and that is honestly the best reveal that Activision has ever done for a Skylanders game. And so I would say that probably my favorite of all time is the Trap Team reveal days. Alright, now I'm going to take a quick break from answering your questions and go a little bit over my mid-month update. So I have a list of YouTube goals, and I went over them in my live stream. Let me read them off to you guys really quickly, just in case you didn't see the live stream. It was basically, buy the Lost Imaginite Mines, 2 episodes of Skylanders Showdown, 2 episodes of Light Seekers, Mario and Rabbids, return of Ask Portalmaster, do the live stream, finish redoing my room and do a room tour, talk about why Trap Team killed the franchise, and release an original skit. Well, most of these have not happened yet, but some of them are going to happen in the future. So I've purchased the Lost Imaginite Mines. If you saw that video yesterday, you will know Lost Imaginite Mines is now heading to the States, and I just bought it for $60 off of eBay, and I feel so stupid now. But whatever, that's how things usually go. But I bought Lost Imaginite Mines, and I'll be covering, unboxing it, and, and playing it very soon, probably towards the end of this month, if not the beginning of next month. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get 2 episodes of Skylanders Showdown out. We're already halfway through the month, and I haven't been able to get out even 1 episode. So unfortunately, I'm only going to have 1 this month, but I am really trying hard to get at least 1 episode of that out this month because I really enjoy Skylanders Showdown, and it gets a pretty positive response from you guys. So I definitely want to make more of those, and I have at least 1 coming this month for sure. Light Seekers, it's the same situation. I kind of got a little overwhelmed with school stuff at the beginning of this month. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It looks like I'm going to be able to get a lot more stuff done the second half of this month, so I will have an episode of my Light Seekers Let's Play, but I also got some more Light Seekers Wave 2 stuff that I still haven't shown my unboxing of. I recorded the unboxing like a week ago and have not edited it yet, so I've got to edit that, and then I will release a video with that stuff in it, so that stuff is coming as well. Mario and Rabbids, that's an interesting situation. So I unfortunately did not get to release as many Let's Plays of those as I wanted to near the beginning of the release, and unfortunately I think I've waited way too long to release the Let's Plays, and the last one I uploaded did not get that many views. So unfortunately I am not going to be releasing any more of those, but what that has provided me with is a learning experience. The next time I do a Let's Play of a game, I will release like 3 episodes within the first 2 days of launch, if not on launch day. I got the game late, and then it took me forever to get recordings up, and that was a huge mistake on my part, and a massive learning experience for me. I will make more Let's Plays near the beginning of a release the next time I do a Let's Play of a brand new game. So, big learning experience. We're returning Ask Portalmaster now. There will be another one in October. I should be back to regular, 2-week, intervals for these. So that is coming back. I am almost done redoing my room. I'm having some technical difficulties with my laptop right now, so I'm wanting to get that sorted out before I actually do the full room tour. I gotta pick a few more things up, but I am making really good progress on actually being able to get my room tour done. Why Trap Team killed the franchise, that is all written out. I've done a complete and total dry run through of that. I haven't recorded it yet. I've done it verbally out loud though, rehearsed it, and it is almost good to go. I've just got to record it. There's very little editing that I'm going to do in there because it's mostly just me talking. I mean, that's really all it is. So that is coming. I am still planning on releasing that skit this month. I don't know how that's going to go over. It's the George Bush Vicarious Visions employee skit. It's pretty funny if you ask me. I just got to get it written down and, gotta do it, but that is still something I'm planning on releasing this month. So I know there hasn't been a lot this month so far, but it is coming near the end of this month, and I will pick up in October with a lot of Skylanders Academy related stuff, and I'm hoping to have a few announcements on the types of content I'm going to be bringing in October in regards to Skylanders Academy. Alright, let's get back to answering questions. Ignite the Fire asks, Portalmaster, what is your least favorite variant? That's a really difficult one. I'm trying to think right now, and I would honestly have to say it's Steel-Plated Hoodsicle. I don't have him yet, and oddly enough, I'm going to end up buying him at a later date, but honestly, Steel-Plated Hoodsicle is one ugly creature, and I really hate the design of him, but, I mean, yeah, it just doesn't look right, so gotta go with Steel-Plated Hoodsicle. Elbow asks, what do you think about dragons coming back or a Skylanders game focusing on dragons. What are you talking about, a game focusing on dragons? That was Spyro's Adventure. You had Spyro in the title, and he's a dragon. But I do see what you're saying, and I do think a Skylanders game with more dragons would be cool. Dragons are always cool, and dragons can always be in Skylanders if you ask me. Paul P says, in the future, will you do Skylanders gameplay like Nuzlocke's and Nightmare Mode playthroughs? That is something I would be interested in doing. You know, I've heard from some people that they would be interested in me doing a Let's Play of the original games, like through Imaginators, just kind of playing straight through them. That is something I could definitely look into. I know that there's a lot of people who would like to see me play through those games. I've never recorded myself playing through those games, so it would be brand new to me to record myself playing through those games, and it would be a great trip down memory lane. So I'm thinking of doing that. I don't know that I'll do like a Nuzlocke or Nightmare Mode playthrough, but it is definitely something I'll consider if there is enough interest in it. Tech the Intelligent asks, my question for you, Portalmaster, is what is your favorite thing about the Skylanders franchise? My favorite thing about the Skylanders franchise is hands down the innovation that it has brought to the table. With the concept of Toys to Life, you know, being completely brought to the market, to the concept of LED lighting in the figures, you know, that is so cool. And the swappers and just so on and so forth, the technology that Skylanders has brought to the table is hands down my favorite part about the entire franchise. Skyren says, where are the latest 5 creation crystals from Wave 5? That's a great question, and I've actually kind of got a little bit, when I do a video on Lost Imaginite Minds, like my rant video, I'm gonna talk about that, the last 5 creation crystals. So that is something that's coming your way. I've got to figure out what they are. I don't actually remember what they are, but that is a video. I'm gonna talk about them in an upcoming video. But basically, to answer your question, they're not out yet. They may never be out. Vinny Bear says, my question is, do you think battle mode will be back? Unfortunately, I do not see it returning anytime soon, although I do think that the mobile game will have some aspect of PvP. Techno Panda Girl asks, hey Portalmaster 9351, when Activision is officially done with Skylanders and ends the series eventually, imagine if they gave the rights and licensing of Skylanders to their sister company Blizzard, and they continue with the franchise and completely overhaul the story and characters as they please. Do you think this would be a good thing for the franchise? And why? That'd be a very interesting thing to do with the franchise. From my understanding, this has never been done. Blizzard has never given anything to Activision. Activision has never given anything to Blizzard. So it would definitely be interesting to see this. I would kill. They have a game called Heroes of the Storm that's got all kinds of Blizzard characters. It's got World of Warcraft characters, StarCraft characters, Overwatch characters, all colliding in a MOBA League of Legends style game. And I would kill to have Spyro in that game. That would be so awesome. Just to have Gilgrunt too, like running down, like you've got like Tracer running down the lane. All of a sudden, Gilgrunt hops out of a bush and goes, shoots her with a harpoon. How awesome would that be? That is what my dream would be if Activision gave the franchise to Blizzard. That would be my dream. Although I imagine Blizzard would probably do some kind of a total overhaul, make it like an RPG, but I definitely think that would be a very interesting thing. Overall, do I ever see it happening? No. Do I think it's a good or a bad thing? I can't really say because it would heavily depend on what Blizzard actually chose to do with the franchise. DarkBones001 says, would you say that knockback is an overpowered mechanic in Imaginators? I haven't really played around with a lot of the characters too much in Imaginators, like, you know, paid super close attention to all the little subtle nuances of the figures and how they play, so I can't really say that I'm qualified to answer this question, to be perfectly honest. But it's not, if it is a problem for you, I haven't noticed it in my playthroughs, at the very least. The Forest Shadow asked, what do you use to record your Lightseekers gameplay videos? I use an Elgato capture card. It's an Elgato HD 60, although I don't use the HD or the 60 elements of it. I record it in 720p at 30 frames per second. And I basically have that, and then I also have an adapter that lets me plug it into my iPad. That is how I record. It's the same setup that I used to record all my other gameplay. It just uses a special adapter for my iPad. Superstars says, have you ever thought about a history of Skylanders videos, both as a franchise and or as a canon, although the canon can be a little confusing? I actually have done a history of Skylanders before. That was a long time ago and it wasn't very well done, but it is something I would consider, and that's actually a really great idea for something that I could do as a major video perhaps in November. I've got a lot of major videos, thought up. I've got my major video for September, and that's why Trap Team killed the franchise. I've got mine for October, and that is Activision's master plan, and then I need one for November, so I may just do that in November, a history of Skylanders type thing. So that's a great idea, and I will definitely consider that. Mick Thompson asks, question, when Toys to Life dies, what do you think will be the next big thing? I covered this a little bit in my current state of Toys to Life video, but I'm not really sure, really. It could be whatever type of dominant technology sort of arises after NFC. That's up in the air. I have no idea what could be invented. There could be some kind of crazy, implant you put in your brain that controls things in the game. There could be something like that. There could be all kinds of things. So it's almost impossible to try to figure out what's going to be the next big thing after Toys to Life. It could quite honestly be just about anything. Alright guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was a super duper long video, mostly because it has been forever since I've done one of these, but I do want to thank all of you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned because I've got lots of stuff coming up through the rest of this month, and I'll have another one of these starting in October. These are coming back regularly, and I'm super excited to be doing that. But anyways, that is pretty much all for now. This has been Portalmaster9351. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.